I'm going to kick us off because I know we want to have as much time as possible for Alex to audit things. So I'm going to start with just a few announcements. Feel free to continue saying hello in the chat if you want to do so. If you haven't been before, we do have a Facebook group that you can use to connect with people between the meetups. You can find it by searching WordPress accessibility on Facebook, or you can go to facebook.com/groups/WordPress.accessibility, and that will get you to the Facebook group. It's a great place to ask questions, share things you're working on, get feedback, answer other people's questions. We have a nice community going in there, so do join if you are on Facebook. Everyone always asks if this is being recorded, and the answer is yes, it is being recorded. You can find upcoming event info and all of the past recordings in one place, and that is at equalizedigital.com/meetup. It takes us about 2 weeks to get corrected captions and a full transcript, and then we will post the recording there. If you want to get notified via email, then we recommend joining our email list. We send emails 24 hours in advance of every meetup as a reminder to go register. And then we also send news and other information every other Wednesday. So you can go join our email list if you go to equalizedigital.com/focus-state. And then the other way to get meetup recordings now is you can listen to our podcast, Accessibility Craft. You can find that at accessibilitycraft.com, and it will have the audio from all of our meetups, or you can find it on any podcast player if you search for Accessibility Craft. We are seeking additional sponsors for the meetup. Unfortunately, the WordPress Foundation does not have budget to pay for live caption, so they have told us that we need to go out and find our own sponsors if we want to have that. So if anyone is interested in sponsoring the meetup, please reach out to us. You can contact organizers if you email meetup@equalizedigital.com. And that is another way beyond sponsorship. If you have a topic that you're interested in, whether you're interested in speaking or there's something that you want to learn and you want us to try and find a speaker for that topic, that's another great way to reach us. So who am I? I've been talking at you. My name is Amber Hinds. I'm the CEO of Equalize Digital. We are the lead organizers for the WordPress Accessibility Meetup. We're a certified B Corp that focuses solely on accessibility in the WordPress space because it's super important to us. And we have a plugin called Accessibility Checker that can help you find some of the accessibility problems on WordPress websites. I've said our website a million times, so I'm not going to say it again. We are on Twitter, and I refuse to change that little icon to an X, so it is still a bird, and I still call it Twitter. Someday I'll stop. And I kept thinking, maybe it'll be this next meetup. And then last week, I got a comment on one of our YouTube videos where someone's like, don't change it, Amber. So I was like, well, if the crowd doesn't want me to, then I won't. So you can find us at Equalize Digital on X, formerly known as Twitter. We do have a sponsor tonight that we need to thank and that I am really excited to thank, and this is Paid Memberships Pro. They're a WordPress membership plugin that is open source, and they allow you to restrict content, accept payments, and manage subscriptions right from your WordPress admin. It is a core plugin, and then there's a lot of different add-ons that you can get for it, and it's open source. And they previously had us do one of these audits, so you can go find the recording of that as well if you're interested in learning about accessibility in their plugin. You can learn more about Paid Memberships Pro at paidmembershipspro.com, and on X/Twitter, they're at PMPRO plugin. So PM Pro plugin. The events that we have coming up, big shout out to, I'm wearing my shirt, which maybe you guys can see, but maybe not. We'll see if I leave down. WordPress Accessibility Day 2023 is happening next week. It is 24 hours of accessibility talks, a single track, and it's all free. and it's phenomenal, organized by a bunch of different people in the community. Please go register so that you can attend and learn from a great number of people from all around the world. You can learn more about it if you go to 2023.wpaccessibility.day. And then on Thursday, October 5th, Jen Harris will be talking about a recipe for accessibility, limiting ingredients for faster design. This is a follow-up on a talk she gave earlier in the year. A lot of people were asking questions for her about how she is able to do more accessible websites on very small budgets for clients that have micro budgets, if we want to say. So that's what she'll be talking about. That will be Thursday, October 5th at 10 a.m. Central. And then on Monday, October 16th, the same time slot, Natalie McLeese will be talking about doing accessibility audits for very large websites. So I am super excited. Let me get our auditor, Alex, and our guest, Natalie, up here so everybody can see them. Today, we're going to be auditing and giving feedback to Natalie Lucier from AccessAlly. And Natalie, do you want to introduce the plugin a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So we've been around since about 2014, and we started off pretty much just building the plugin for ourselves. It was a very, very basic LMS, and I use that word, learning management system now, but back in the day, we didn't even know what an LMS was when we set out to build this plugin. It was really just for ourselves. I was teaching online courses, and the tool I was using, the plugin I was using at the time, was causing all these crashes on our server. And my husband and I are both developers, so we're like, okay, let's just fix this quickly. And so we built a very, very basic management plugin for content, essentially. And then over time, it's grown a whole lot. Now it does payments, it does everything from member directories, teams, all the learning tracking, quizzes, and all kinds of stuff. So it's really grown a lot over time. And yeah, so essentially today it's a full-fledged LMS, but back in the day it started off as just this tiny little thing, but that it was just meant to give people access to the courses that we had. So yeah, I think that what makes AccessAlly a little bit different too is that we focus on trying to really give everyone what they need without using a ton of add-ons or other additional plugins. So that's kind of been our approach to development, which means sometimes our plugin gets kind of big because it has a lot of functionality under the hood. So I think it'll be really interesting to see your take on it, and especially from an accessibility point of view as well.
Well, yeah. Thank you for coming. We're really excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for taking the time to give us your feedback.
Yeah. And for anyone who can't see, I do have their website. It's AccessAlly, AccessAlly.com. So you can go there if you want to learn more about the plugin as well. And I think there's also a free demo that anyone can spin up if they want to try it and play around with it. So there are a couple of guidelines that I just like to remind everyone as we get started. So first of all, the point of this meetup is really to give voice to assistive technology users. So we have Alex here today. Hey, Alex, you are up.
Hello.
And I only say this because the very first time we did this, we had people talking over, and now we're not in meetups, but I do still think it's important to point out that even me as an accessibility professional, my experience is not the same as someone who uses screen readers. And so we encourage everyone, put comments, put ideas in the chat, feedback that you have, because all of that is really great feedback for the plugins that we review. And I'm sure Natalie appreciates that, but we also don't want to discount anything that Alex says, because obviously Alex is a user who's experiencing it himself. So, and then number two is really important that everyone remember is no bashing. So this meetup is intended to provide actionable, positive feedback for the plugin developer. It is incredibly scary, and people are incredibly brave to be willing to come up and let their things be audited live and publicly. And we want to applaud their efforts to improve the accessibility of their software. So nothing is perfect. I know that I sometimes have accessibility problems on my website, and Alex points them out to me, and then I'm like, crap, I gotta go fix this. So thank you, Natalie, for being here, and for everyone who's attending, please keep that in mind. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and let Alex take over sharing. I will be watching the Q&A. So if anyone has a question about something Alex says, or something he's hearing as he's going through the site, and he'll share so we can all hear his sound. Feel free to put them in the Q&A and I will ask him those questions as well. Do you want to share, Alex?
Yeah, I was waiting on you to wrap up. So to not
So would you like to introduce your screen reader for everyone?
So this is my screen reader. He speaks very, very fast. And if there's any blind people in the audience tonight, you can probably understand it. But for everyone else, we can probably slow it down a little bit. 90% is where I like to stay.
59, 50, 57, 43, 41, 40.
40% is probably a little bit more reasonable.
Demo dashboard. Welcome. The training vault. Mozilla link. Skip the main content.
So we'll get started. We'll just check. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask, so this, Natalie, do you just want to give us a quick background on where we've landed and how this might relate to what a user of the plugin would see?
Yeah, exactly. So this is a site that we built using AccessAlly kind of under the hood, and we built it as a demo site experience. So if somebody is, curious about what kind of sites you could build with AccessAlly, you can go to the website and opt into this your own kind of sandbox demo site experience. And the idea here is that we've used like gamification and kind of the features to show you what AccessAlly can do. And so you're not going to see in this particular couple screens the back end of the plugin, but I did send a login to Alex if he does want to go and check out the actual back end of AccessAlly. But this is more of like a front-facing example of an AccessAlly website.
So first thing we can do is we can just kind of see if we got some basic web page structure. So just see if there's any heading ones on the page.
No next heading at level 1.
There's not. Heading ones are important because it communicates at what page and kind of the context to where you currently are. So we'll do some further exploration.
Link. Skip the main content.
We do have a skip the main content link.
Main landmark. Congress Alex Stine. Just for checking out the demo course you earned. Heading level 225. Just for checking out the demo course. Heading level 2 you earned. Graphic 25. Heading level 2 point.
Can I ask a question real quick? That heading 2 that Alex can hear is white, and it looks like the container is white, although when I load this, I think there's actually a dark background.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you want to refresh the page, Alex. I'm not sure if it just didn't load properly for you, but yeah, that was my first
link. Skip the main content.
That's how it should look.
Heading level 2.
I'm not sure why it was not loading properly, but.
So there's a background image behind the text. What you might do as a fallback is put dark color background behind the text also, in case it doesn't load.
Yes, I actually just did that after I saw this load. I was like, oh, that's terrible. Thank you.
Okay, so the first heading we actually get on this page is you earned
graphic 25.
Then a graphic 25.
Heading level 2 points.
Then another heading level 2 points. Neither of which actually communicates the context of this page. The second comment to make about this is over-engineered for the purpose that it communicates. So one heading that says you earned 25 points is definitely sufficient. So we can,
rather than having 2 headings around an image is what you're saying?
2 headings around an image, yes.
Heading level 2, when you reach 100 points, you'll get a heading level 2 secret promo code.
And then another heading level 2 that has that message about 100 points.
Graphic icon with a checkbox. Heading level 2 complete. Free short course modules.
So icon with a checkbox, it describes the image, but it's probably more for decorative type image in this area. So it's probably a little redundant to spell that out since it really doesn't add value to this page.
Graphic icon with a star. Heading level 2 earn.
Same deal with icon with a star.
So what would you recommend in this case? Like not describing it or?
Empty alts are good for decorative images.
Okay, that makes sense.
25 points for each module. Graphic icon with a trophy. Heading level 2 redeem. A special code bonus content. Heading level 2 ready for module 1. Click the start button to keep going and see how you can sell more of your offerings with AccessAlly. Link press to start. Sell more with AccessAlly. The training vault document busy. Link skip to main content. Main landmark course progress. Heading level 3.
Okay, so the first heading on this page is a heading level 3. And
You have 25 points. Banner landmark navigation landmark out of heading level 3 course progress. 0. Link current page. Link current page module 1. Module 2. Module 3. Reward. Module 1. Sell more with AccessAlly heading level 2. Build with AccessAlly's progress tracking. Frame. Dialog. Button play. 452. Button volume. You menu button submenu choose captions. Button transcript. Button collapsed settings. Button enter full screen. Blank. Out of frame in this module you'll get to see how to build a membership site with AccessAlly and also demo an order form experience that mirrors the client experience. Blank. 1. Watch the video. Checkbox unavailable not checked. 2. Link click here to see a live order form in action. Opens in a new window. Close it to come back here. And check off this item. Checkbox not checked. Content info. Link sitemap. Link privacy policy. Link terms conditions. Link cookie. Link sitemap. 20 main landmark check.
so the main problem we're really seeing here is this page just really doesn't have too many semantics. So
Do you understand what's on this page, Alex? Or what's your understanding of what's on this page?
I understand that I need to watch a video and then there's something else I need to look at.
So what would be helpful is having a heading 1, right? That tells you the name of the course that you're about to do, I'm guessing, or the step of the course.
Or yeah, at the very least, the module that we're currently on. Then maybe some text underneath that talks about your course progress. And then below that, you can start with the course content.
And link 2. Check watch the 1. Blank. Order for in this mod frame. Out of frame in this module you'll get.
In this module, this description text here should probably should be before the video, because it describes what this module is about.
So I think, so the H2 module 1, sell more with AccessAlly. One thing that I'd point out, and I think this came up previously when we were talking about, I can't remember what plugin it was, but we did an audit and we talked about the onboarding wizards that plugins do and how they put sort of like you have where there's the module 1, module 2, like the progress bar. And if you put it above the heading 1, it causes a problem, like it gets missed a lot of times. So I actually think where Alex pointed out that you need a heading 1 for that, like I don't think it would be sufficient to just make that heading 2 a heading 1. I think that it would need to be moved above.
Yeah, flipping those sections make a lot of sense now that I'm hearing it this way. If you have context before you get to the actual like points and navigation, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Are those checkboxes labeled appropriately, Alex?
Checkbox unavailable not checked. Checkbox not checked.
No, there's no associated label with those.
Okay. Do those, wait, I could just test it. Those get checked automatically when you do the thing, Natalie? Or
yes, so the first one, when you watch the video, it will auto complete, and then the next one, when you click that link and then come back, it should auto complete as well.
How do you handle that, Alex? It's like a checkbox that you can't actually check off. You have to do
Click here
something,
link.
and the system checks it off.
Checkbox unavailable, not checked.
So this checkbox is still focusable, so that's good. The only other suggestion here would be,
Watch the video. 1. Watch the video. Checkbox unavailable, not checked. 2.
I mean, I would modify this to say, watch the video to complete step 1.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So
And then, of course, all these checkboxes need this text as an associated label, because right now it's just a meaningless checkbox, essentially.
Yeah, like it's
So-
not associated at all, right?
No.
if you inspect this, there is a label there.
Link, click here
It's
to see.
just
Check off the
empty, but what's interesting is the label is where the square is. Like there's an input that I can't see. I don't know if you want to try and pull that
box
up.
and check off.
Alex.
Checkbox not checked. Menu, inspect. Sell more with a checkbox not checked. Console panel frame.
Oh, we
Console
can't see
panel.
your
Application.
inspector.
Document. Storage access. Input in progressively objective completion checkbox 1-27091-8 class completion checkbox progressively update type checkbox progressively objective update 27091 8 130,238 progressively objective update nonce 3C7
That's cool.
label class progressively space click progressively objective label it 8 for progressively objective completion checkbox.
Oh, there's the
So
empty label.
The label has a row of checkbox on it,
Oh,
and it has ARIA disabled on it. But there's also an input
Label button class
before the
progressively
label.
objective link for progressively up to index 0 button roll checkbox button.
and it has tab index of 0, so that's how you get the focus.
ARIA disabled
On
false.
the
ARIA
label.
checked false button.
Yeah.
Aria checked.
New attribute button.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is a good case of something that gets to be way overly engineered when you could just use the checkbox.
So
But
what
go
I
for
think
it.
I would do, Natalie, is because you have a table here, and the first cell in the table is what I think is actually supposed to be the label.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, I'd have the label tag go around that like watch the video,
Awesome.
and then have an actual checkbox rather than because you can style a checkbox to be large, an input
Yeah,
checkbox.
I think originally when we built this, we didn't have any of this context. Right? We were just like, make it pretty. But I think this makes a lot of sense to do it that way.
Click sell more.
Peter has a question, Alex, about the video. Says, when including videos, is it helpful to include screen reader only text indicating that the next element on a page is a video, or do videos announce themselves? Says this is assuming there isn't an already visible introductory text before the video, which I think maybe goes back to you asking to move the paragraph above the video.
Yeah, the paragraph above the video should be sufficient, and usually video players are pretty hard to miss, so.
Mhm. Is it possible, Natalie, to skip ahead in this video and then we can see it checked, or will the video
It
force
is.
you to watch all 4 minutes?
You can totally skip ahead. Yep.
Payment or
so
full screen button collapsed settings
if you hit play and then if you can fast forward it, you should be able
button
to.
transcript menu button submenu choose captions button volume use 452 button play dialogue button play 4 button volume use up down arrow keys to 4 button play
Alright, sorry, this is really loud.
pause 0 o'clock button pause AccessAlly 4 minutes either
AccessAlly
end.
is the most
Pause button.
flexible way to sell and
Play progress bar slider 00204
Alright, can we fast
0
forward
0
now?
12 0 0 0 30
Fast forwarding. Alright,
All right. That
Now,
should
if you hit
work.
play, will it check it off?
Yeah,
Play
maybe
button.
you need to hit play again.
space pause progress bar slider 452 or
Maybe
450
you need to go slightly further back instead of right at the
button.
end.
progress bar slider 452 432 or
Yeah,
452
you got it now. I don't know
Oh,
why it's a
okay.
little finicky, but
volume use up down arrow keys to No next heading. Volume menu button. Button enter blank. Out of frame in this order form blank. 1. Watch the video. Checkbox unavailable checked. 2. Link click here to see a live order form in action. Opens in a new window. Close it to come back here. Link L-I.
Opens in a new window? Really? Let's see.
So that's not the video.
Busy.
That's
Colon
something
blank.
else.
Demo the order forms.
I'm just shocked that that actually opened in a new window.
Link skip the main
Also,
content. Screen sharing me. Demo the order forms. The train.
No, it didn't open in a new window. It opened in a new tab.
oh,
Ah, yes, that's true.
is
Words
that
matter.
so? You
That
wanted
words
to
matter.
say new
Yes.
tab?
Yeah, because they are two distinctly very, very different things, the screen reader users.
Yeah,
Cell
and how you
access
get
button.
back is different.
Oh, yes, very different.
And check off the link. Click here to see and checkbox not checked. Checked. Heading level 2 you earned. Graphic 25. Heading level 2 points. Heading level 2 1 down. 2 more to go. Click the next button to first. Link next.
Okay,
So wait,
so
oh yeah, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, this keeps referring to next button. These aren't buttons, these are links.
Got it.
Oh yeah, the text says they're, yeah. Click the next button. It's styled like a button.
Details matter.
Yeah, so probably I just say click next.
Got it.
Do you have any issue, Alex, with those check boxes checking themselves? Was that okay for you?
I mean, it was pretty clear what it was eventually going to do, but I tend to not like those patterns anyway, because it can be rather subjective at times, depending on the situation. How do you actually make this checkbox check itself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So saying
Uh,
like the checkbox will check itself, would that be helpful for the first one, for example, or even both of them?
I mean, preferably we wouldn't have a feature like that in an LMS, because I think it does more harm than good. But if we have to keep it, that's probably the preferable way to keep it.
Got it.
Yeah. I mean, I do think it's good that you use an actual input instead of like an image or something that just swapped out, because when he went there, it did say that it was an input that was checked. But I do think it's a little confusing, because even I asked you, I was like, how do these get checked?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Content info main landmark link next. Teach better with AccessAlly. The training vault document busy. Main landmark course progress. Heading level 3. Module 2. Teach better with AccessAlly. Heading level 2. Build with AccessAlly's progress tracking. You're already experiencing what objective checklists, order forms, and points could look like in AccessAlly. Blank. Let's try out some more features. Blank. 1. Complete a short quiz. Checkbox unavailable not checked. 2. Write a private note. Checkbox unavailable not checked. Build with AccessAlly's quiz feature. This is an example of a graded quiz. Fill it out to see it in action. Blank. Which of the following payment features does AccessAlly not support? List with 5 items. Radio button not checked. Out of blank.
Let's see something.
List with 5 items. Stripe and PayPal recurring payments.
Okay, so there's no field sets or legends here, so that means if you entered a quiz using tab alone, you'd never actually know what question you were answering.
Stripe and PayPal radio out of list. Which of the following payment features does AccessAlly not support? List with 5 items. Radio button not checked. Stripe and PayPal recurring payments. Radio button not checked. Customizable order forms. Radio button not checked. Print on demand physical mailing of invoices and receipts. Radio button not checked. Customer subscription self-management. Radio button not checked. Affiliate program links and tracking. Radio customers. Radio print on demand physical mailing of invoices and receipts.
Now, I'm gonna guess this is the option, but I don't know.
Yes, you are guessing correctly.
Radio button not checked. Checked. Print on demand radio customer radio affiliate program out of list button next. 1-4. Button next. Build with AccessAlly's private note. 2-4. Build with AccessAlly's private notes.
Okay, so to all the JavaScript developers out there listening, if you're going to have a JavaScript module like this, that when you click next, a new question is shown, please be mindful that non-sighted users cannot see what just happened and manage focus accordingly.
So for that, you need to have ARIA right?
For that, you need to
ARIA live regions.
put, well, you can't here because you can say a new question is loaded, but there's no straightforward way to get there because there's no heading structure.
2-4.
The question 2 of 4 output is below the content, so it's pretty much useless to a screen reader user.
So like if we could, we would try to like bump back to the top and read the next question, right? As opposed to being stuck at the navigation part.
The preferable way to do this would be each question should have a heading level. Well,
I mean, I think if you had focus when they hit next, wouldn't you just want to have, you could have JavaScript and shift to the focused up to the next question.
in an ideal world, the heading 1 should be the title of this module. The heading 2 should say quiz, and the heading 3 should say question 1, question 2,
Button 2-4.
instead of having this text that says 2-4 at the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, there's a little more on this page, but maybe, yeah, built with the quiz feature would be an H2 and then H3s. I do think there's probably something that would have to happen. So Alex, like the question is above where you are.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get across that this page has no semantic structure for blind users. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no way to ARIA live this because if you, I mean, an ARIA live would say the next question is loaded, but there's no easy way to find the next question.
Gotcha. Yeah. So if they had the headings and they also did a JavaScript when the next button is to force focus on that question,
Yeah. Yeah.
then that would make it read out, right?
Yeah, you can tab index -1 to focus text.
Mm-hmm.
Button list radio audio radio coach radio mem radio on radio instantly radio button team program radio button drip content radio button not out of list. What types of content can AccessAlly deliver? List with 8 items radio button not checked. Drip content. Radio button not team programs with group licensing. Radio button not instantly available content. Radio button not check online courses. Radio button not check memberships. Radio button not check coaching. Radio button not check audio and video. Radio button not check all of the above. Radio button not check. Main landmark list all of the above. Radio button not check date of 8 checked.
Go in here, assuming I'm correct.
So
All of the
those
above.
those are all labeled properly, right?
Yes, they are.
So that's good.
There's just the missing field sets on here, so but the
I
labels on the options are okay.
I did add a link in the chat to explain field sets and what is looking for.
Out of list button previous. Button next. Button list with radio rock radio video radio auto radio private radio quiz radio out of list blank. What features make AccessAlly a full learning management system? List with 6 items radio button not checked. Quizzes. Radio but private notes and assignments. Radio auto generated certificates. Radio video and audio bookmarks. Radio progress tracking. Radio but all of the above. Radio button. Main landmark list. All of the out of list but button next. 4-4. Button submit answers. Button pre list with 4 items Mac OS X. Radio but window
Hey,
radio
Alex,
radio
maybe don't select one and hit submit. And let's see
Okay.
what an error would do if you
previous.
don't.
Submit answers button. Submit answers button. 4-4. Button previous.
So visually, it made them all bold.
Yeah, that I'd be willing to argue that that probably doesn't do much visually either.
No, it doesn't.
It's true.
List with 4 radio window radio word radio 2 radio button out of list
So there
AccessAlly.
should be some type of focus placed on a visible message that says, please select an answer or something to that
Yeah,
effect.
This
And-
field is required or something. Yeah.
Yep.
AccessAlly requires which software to work. List with 4 items radio but Joomla. Radio WordPress. Radio but checked WordPress radio Windows. Radio Mac OS X out of list button previous. Button submit answers. Button previous correct. List with 4 items Mac OS X. Radio button unavailable Windows. Radio button WordPress. Radio button checked. Joomla. Radio out of list AccessAlly requires with soft blank. This is an example of a graded build with AccessAlly's checkbox on of build with accesses and blank. AccessAlly require list with 4i Joomla. Radio WordPress. Radio Windows. Radio Mac O out of list correct. Button previous. Correct. O C.
Okay, so I guess that's saying the whole quiz is correct. That's confusing.
I think that one is actually saying that that answer was correct. There is a separate message further down on the page about your score on the quiz.
Button 4-4. Separator. Congratulations, you scored 100 and passed the quiz.
Yeah, that's got to be communicated better because all the questions were above in DOM positioning, so no one would even guess to look for that there.
So that for me is where an ARIA live region is helpful, because it could have just read it out. Do you agree, or would you handle it a different way?
I agree. I'm just not exactly sure
Separ 4-4. Button previous. Correct. List with radio
why
windows.
we still have this page of questions here, unless the idea is to go back and see which ones you got right. But that's also confusing because now there's only a previous button. And
There's
it doesn't
also
like
a-
start over.
There is a retake quiz also.
Yeah, I think
But
the idea is if people didn't do well, they could go back and check their answers and see which ones they got wrong with the previous button. But I agree, like having the correct and then underneath you can see the result, like you don't get to that until later.
Previous 4-4 separator. Congrats separator. Button retake quiz.
There's the retake.
Build with AccessAlly's private notes. Notes can be used in many ways as a private notepad for students, as a homework submission tool, or as a way to communicate one-on-one with participants. Blank. Share your goals for your membership or course project. Button edit note. No text field, click here to enter your note. Content info landmark, main landmark, no text field, click here to enter your note. L.
Okay, this is a non-semantic button.
Edit multi-line blank. Out of edit, share your goals for your membership. Edit multi-line. Out of edit multi-line.
Once you do that, there is nothing that actually labels this field. And that is an accessibility violation. No visible
So-
label.
It looks like it's a div with placeholder text and a tab index on it of 0 so that it becomes focusable rather than a field. But would it just be a field, or would you rather see a button that, because the field gets bigger?
Now there needs to be a button that opens this field because there is no button. It's just it's a visual button maybe, but it's not a button to screen readers.
So, okay, so now I'm looking further up. There's a div that has a roll of button with the ARIA label edit note. Oh no, that's the
For the-
pencil button,
Yeah.
I think, that we saw.
There is some DOM replacement that happened, so there is no longer I'm not sure what happened here, but it is unfortunately not accessible.
And then that, let me inspect that real quick. So where you are right now is a text area, but it doesn't have a label on it.
Correct.
So I think the text above it, share your goals for your membership or course project, would need to be a label for this text area. I would sort of question whether you need to have like the small field that actually reveals. Like sometimes it's easier not to do stuff like that. I don't know how important it is, Natalie, to like have this like the smaller visual if you're trying to keep pages short.
Yeah, I would have to check with our customers and stuff, because I think like it's always one of those like you don't want to change legacy behavior type stuff if they have like their design, is a small box or whatever. But yeah, I think this is a really good realization for us.
Yeah, otherwise I would say the div with the roll of button, I think technically would need to function sort of like an accordion with like expanded and collapsed on it.
Yeah,
To like,
so you know
and
which state it's
ARIA
in.
controls to sort of say what it is.
Edit multi-line blank.
So
I don't even think you can find that, Alex, unless you were to cancel,
Retake
hit the
quiz button.
cancel, maybe.
Build with edit multi out of edit add attachment. Button cancel. But each button edit note. Share your goal. Edit note button.
it does have a tab index, so it's a sort of a button.
Edit multi-line blank. Out of edit share your goals for your membership or course. Edit multi-line. Out of edit add attachment. Button cancel.
Oh, so it does the same thing. Well, that's very interesting.
Button say content info laminate. Button cancel. But each button edit note. No text field. Click here to enter your note.
This is the problem right here. This note text field. Click here to enter your note.
Button edit note. No next edit field.
It's not an edit field. It's not a semantic control, so it can't stay like this.
You know what I actually wonder though? Would it be sufficient to not have that be keyboard accessible at all, that click here to enter your note, because it does the exact same thing that the button you're going to hear before it does that actually expands it? Like, I'm wondering if click here to enter your note could be hidden from screen readers completely.
You'd also have to take it out of the tab order.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you can do that.
because it's really duplicate.
Share your goals for your membership or course. Button edit note.
I'm not sure edit note is good text for this, since you're not actually editing a note, you're writing a new note.
Yeah, well, or it's really like, I think I might label this like open notes field or show notes field, or like something that more clearly explains that this is like a, because this is, and then it needs, what is it? ARIA expanded, true and
Edit
false.
multi. Out of edit share your goal blank. Or as a way to communicate 1-1 with blank. Share edit multi-line.
Not really, because the button itself disappears.
But but it shouldn't. Yeah. And then it sort of would. Yeah, so maybe not, because it's
Out of edit add
not
attachment.
totally like an accordion.
Edit out of edit add attachment. Edit multi. Cancel button.
It's also worth noting that
Add attachment.
this add attachment is not focusable at all, so you will skip this.
Got it. And if you type something into that and then hit save, I think this is where it gets a little tricky again, because like basically that's where the like enter your note here part gets replaced with whatever you wrote there
Edit multi-line blank.
on the page.
G testing. Save button.
So there's nothing that says the save was successful.
Button edit note. No text field testing.
Yeah, this also, the label that wraps this doesn't make much sense. Note text field.
Heading level 2 you earned. Note button edit note. No text field testing.
What do you think about putting a focus lock on that to some degree once they trigger it, where they go through the field, the cancel button, the save button, but they can't go anywhere else on the page? Would that be helpful, Alex?
Oh, I agree. It should be done. The vast majority of this needs to be refactored totally.
For this piece, yeah.
Yes.
I kind of wonder, instead of having the cancel button, of leaving that other button, the edits, just with a different label, and having that be the cancel, or basically open close kind of thing. Because it would make it more clear that there's a field. Or the other thing is, you know, like I talked about, like maybe this section just has the edit. But I don't know if that's confusing, if they can submit. Because the save button works, except for the announcement, right, Alex? You just didn't hear that it was successful.
Yes.
So, yeah, I don't know. This one's challenging. I don't know if anyone watching has any thoughts. Feel free to put them in the chat, but I might have to think about it and come back.
I do like the accordion more, like the open and close, like you know which state you're in part. I think that's important, or it could at least solve part of the problem. I know there's a lot of issues, but
You just have to be careful not to change the button text because that's a WCAG violation as well.
got it.
Yeah, so you would always have it be like notes field. And then you'd have ARIA expanded. So then when someone encounters it, they would hear notes field like expanded or collapsed.
Got it.
Rather than saying open notes field or close notes field, depending on the state.
This might be a bit of a like can of worms question, but what if somebody has multiple of these notes on one page? Would it just be like the label or the question above that tells you what it is, but it's the same accordion?
Well, the problem with this is this is weird because there is an editing area and then there's a viewing area. And both of which are not totally clear. I would really like to see this switch to, you know, if you show it, you're editing. If you hide it, you don't see it anymore. Because after I get finished editing a note, I'm going to be a little confused.
Heading level 2, graphic 25, heading no text field testing.
While I still see my note.
So I think the intent here is that they could take notes just for themselves. I don't think they're actually sending it anywhere.
Exactly. That was the original intent with it. We do have now the ability to send it to like say the course leader or something like that, but originally it was just for the student to have like, you know, take notes as they're going through the course.
So if you asked about putting multiple on the page, if somebody building out a course with an LMS puts multiple on the page, would it have multiple of the headings like what we see built with AccessAlly's private notes, or would it just have multiple of the questions like share your goals?
Multiple of the question like share your goals, the second one.
Then yeah, I think that's the unique identifier that you'd have to use as the label.
Connect it with that button.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Heading level 2 you earned. Graphic 25, heading level 2 points. Heading level 2 you're halfway there, keep going. You're just one module away from unlocking your special code and getting bonus content. Link next. Next link, Mozilla Firefox private browsing. And link skip to main content. Main landmark course progress, module 3. Engage longer with AccessAlly heading level 2. Build with AccessAlly's progress tracking. Woo, Alex Stine, you made it to module 3 and you're one step away from your special promo code. Blank. Complete the last objective below. Blank. 1. Download your auto-generated certificate. Checkbox unavailable not checked. Heading level 2 download your certificate. Certificates are a great way to recognize the knowledge and skills your members acquired in your program. In AccessAlly you can upload a PDF for your certificates that will autofill with students' names. See for yourself. Link download certificate. Link busy document about blank. Link download certificate. AccessAlly demo sandbox certificate PDF. Mozilla Firefox private browsing. AccessAlly demo sandbox certificate PDF. Mozilla Firefox private browsing. AccessAlly demo sandbox certificate PDF. Show all downloads button alt S. AccessAlly.
So
All
do
right,
you want to read this?
AccessAlly demo out of region
at
zoom
all,
combo.
Alex?
Page 1 region browser tabs toolbar. AccessAlly demo.
okay. It actually
Actually,
opens
wait, first
PDF.
question. Natalie, does your plugin generate these certificates, or would this be something that the person would create separately?
Yeah, so the person would design the actual PDF, upload it, and then AccessAlly can put in different fields like the date and the name of the person who completed the course.
Okay.
Browser tabs tool open no bookmark save to AccessAlly demo.
Probably not worth looking at this then.
Out of region zoom combo box
Yeah, because
collapse.
the plugin's not totally generating it. It
Engage
might be worth
heading level link download certificate.
providing some feedback to your, like some resources to your users about how they can create accessible PDFs. Cause I bet if they don't upload an
level 2 URL.
accessible PDF, then, then it wouldn't be useful to a blind person who's taking their course.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's great.
Graphic 25. Heading level 2 points. Heading level 2, you've completed the demo course. Click the button below to unlock your unique promo code and access bonus content. Button unlock my promo code. But engage longer with AccessAlly, the training vault, Mozilla Firefox private browsing, a graphic wait, busy, your promo code, the training vault document busy, link skip to main content. Main landmark way to go, you got $200 off heading level 2. Built with AccessAlly's promotional countdown timer. Your unique promo LXMOG CG6FLV will automatically be applied and expires in 0, 1, 1, 0, blank, 9, 0, 0, 9, days, blank, 2, 0, 0, 2, blank, 3, 0, 0, 3, hours, 5.
All right, I don't think I have to talk about what's wrong with this.
Yeah, I'm like cringing over here. So yes, totally.
This is just borderline confusing. Just a little bit. That's all.
Yes, for sure.
0, 5, blank, 9, 0, 0, 9 minutes. 1, 2, 2, 1, blank, 5, 5, 5, 4, second, blank. Your $200 savings are locked in from year to year, backed by our 60-day money-back guarantee. There's no reason to wait. Button get essentials. Button get AccessAlly Pro. Button get community. Heading level 2 bonuses. By completing the demo course, you've unlocked bonus content that lets you explore more of. AccessAlly link current page bonus content. Content info landmark main land.
So those buttons, I think, are probably not actually buttons too. Like get community. Does that link over to like your pricing page with the or your shopping cart to check out?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would guess that they have the role equals button on them. And you only want to use that if it's actually doing something on the page. If it's linking somewhere, then you don't use role equals button, even if it's styled to look like a button. And this is not unique to you. Like almost every page builder developer does that same thing.
Yes.
Totally. Okay.
So it's a commonly confused thing. Is there anything else on the front end before we shift gears to a logged in editing experience?
If you keep going, there will be like a member directory, which might be interesting to look at, and the team feature, which also might be interesting to look at. But I know like time's running up, so whichever you prefer is up to you.
Where's the member directory?
Yeah, if you click on bonus content, it'll be coming up basically.
Content in main landmark link current page bonus content. Demo dashboard welcome. The training vault document link skip to main landmark bonus content heading level 2. Congress, you've made it past. Has to offer graphic email letter. Heading level 2 invite. Members to a team experience. Graphic multiple people icon. Heading level 2 view. Members in a directory. Heading level 2 unlock. Banner landmark navig. Button out of its time to take. You did banner landmark navigation landmark list with one item button collapse my accounts out of list. It's time to build with your unique 0, 0, 0, 0. Bonus content Congress you has to offer graphic email heading level 2 invite. Members to graphic mode heading level 2 members and heading level 2 unlock. The course ID link press to start. Heading level 2 start the demo again. Click the start button to explore.
So I think you have to go to press to, is it press to start?
Press to start, yeah. Sorry.
Press to start link. Invite the training vault document. Link skip to main landmark experience different features heading level 1. Link current page. Link. Link current page invite.
Icons. Aria hidden true. Always. There's never a time you don't hide your icons.
You got it.
Link review. Link unlock. Heading level 2 invite and manage team members. AccessAlly Teams is a great way to offer access to online content to a group of people instead of one account built with access. Try this feed access to the 7 graphic arrow manage team. Add members. Graphic arrow pointing to the add members tab. Manage team. Add members. Find team member edit as autocomplete. Add members. Manage team. Add members. Find expand all collapse all. Heading level 2 see members in a directory. Another way to interact with link next. Content in main another heading another link next. Directory. Link skip to main landmark experience link. Link current page. View members and you decide how to use directories. They can be public or private, sortable, searchable, and link out to other websites or profiles. Build with AccessAlly's directory feature. Meet the team behind AccessAlly and the different departments they're in. Blank. Edit as autocomplete go.
Oh.
So go ahead, Alex.
Combo box. Edit blank.
These fields do not have labels.
Yeah, it also doesn't have a visible label. I think it has a placeholder text, but it's very light. Is this a search field?
Edit as autocomplete go.
Yeah.
So you could search like a name or something.
Yeah.
Space.
Exactly.
O T.
this go button is not a button.
Combo box collapsed AccessAlly team. Current page edit has autocomplete 1 of 2. Kimberly Gosney. Current page edit has autocomplete 1 of 2. Combo box collapsed. Current page edit has autocomplete 1.
That actually does have a label, funny enough. It's the only thing here that has a label, but it has a label.
Kimberly Gosney. Course progress. 100. Badges. Graphic pink gem, graphic green gem, graphic aqua gem. Winona Lee. Course progress. 100. Badges. Graphic pink gem, graphic green gem, graphic aqua gem. Catherine Jean Jean. Course progress. 0. Badges. Graphic green gem, graphic aqua gem. Scott Macon. Course progress. 0. Badges. Graphic pink gem, graphic Naomi Niles. Course progress. 0. Badges. Graphic aqua gem. Nathalie Lessier. Course progress. 100. Badges. Graphic green gem. Heading level 2 unlock your bonus.
Are these clickable or supposed to be clickable, or is it just the
Yeah, it's just for display, kind of just to show an
Okay.
example.
So I would think about if you can have a meaningful name on the badges,
Yeah, no, that makes total sense.
and maybe you do, and for the demo you just didn't fill them in, but yeah, or even thinking about that, like this is where sometimes you can provide guidance to users in the plugin. Like what would be the label that would make sense? Because just hearing green gem doesn't really mean anything.
Totally. Like it could be like level 1 completed or something like that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Do you want to log in, Alex?
I can definitely try.
Screen sharing meeting. Screen share.
Let me pause my screen share so not that way everyone doesn't get to read my email with me.
This is already like amazing. So thank you. I know you're probably like, this is terrible, but I really do appreciate the feedback.
No, we appreciate you coming and being open to it, and we're excited to see what you all do with the feedback and all that. So
Yeah, and I think some of these features have been around so long that we didn't really know what we were doing in the beginning. Like I said, like when we started building the plugin, like we were not plugin developers. We came from a completely different development background. So even developing for the web was new, and we've like improved things over time, but this is like a whole other like lens that we haven't, refactored with. So I think it will be really helpful.
well, I can tell that you all have put some thoughts into it, because there is some aria on the divs, right? Whereas we've seen some where they were built a long time ago and everything was divs and nobody had tried. So I can tell that you all have tried to put some effort in, and so I think that's great.
Yeah, we did try, but I think, like, I don't think we had real feedback, right? Like we're just like doing some research, and I think this is what we need to do. So this is way more, actionable. So thank you.
Yeah. I think your camera broke, Alex.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's telling us a no camera. You don't have to fix it though if it will take a long time.
That's hilarious.
We can still hear you. That's the most important part.
That's really weird. I kind of want to know what happened to my camera. I promise, no baseball bats today.
It was on at the beginning when you first joined.
You have started screen share. Share preview. Dashboard.
Do you mind going 100% again?
Dashboard training center. Word.
Are we there?
You're at 80. That's probably
Participants. Now. Link skip to main content. Skip list with 2 items. Home link current page. Updates 4 host submenu list with 4 add new link. Categories tags media submenu list with add new link. Pages sub list with add new default page comments 1 comment and mod calendar submenu link list with 6 items all calendars link add new link.
What are we looking for in here?
So it's AccessAlly. It's basically after the settings, there's an AccessAlly tester, but the one right after that.
Category list with 4 add new link. Category tag element list with some customer home tool assist get help apps link. License template list with pop-up theme landing picket library add new link. Category appearance sub list with custom widget menu theme plugins 3 list with 6 add new plugin 5 SJ create new link plugins manager link. Free sold list with 6 items. Plugin tools list testing expert help link add-ons user submit list with free add new profile tools list with import export link site tell export erase real time moderate list with history category settings list with writing reading list discuss media link link privacy link fluent read this link social image nested page AccessAlly sub menu link list with 12 items link dashboard AccessAlly link skip to main landmark improve your site's performance score heading level 3 dialog button close. How likely are you to recommend AccessAlly to a friend or colleague? Button 0, button 1, button 2, button 4, button 6, button 7, button 8, button 10, not likely, extremely likely, extremely likely.
Well, because these are actually red,
Not likely, button 10.
I'll give it a 10.
Heading dialog. What are the primary reasons for the score you gave? Edit multi-line. The product and experience has been incredibly useful to our team. Blank.
Now, I don't need a lot of work. Come on.
What are the primary reasons? Close button. Heading level 3. Improve your sites for blank. Frame YouTube video play blank. Out of frame button close. Button close. Frame link photo and link check menu button blink watch on you out of frame blank. Heading level 1 AccessAlly 4.1 is your waving hand. Heading level 4 we've got an awesome update for you today which includes heading level 4 shipping addresses on order forms. One-click self-registration for members to join another team. Heading level 4 an easy team leader replacement. Heading level 4 plus we made big changes to community live. Heading level 4 like creating discussion threads that can be placed on any page, email notifications and so much. Heading level 4 more.
This might take the record of being the longest heading level 4 I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Button C.
so probably those should not be headings. They should be paragraphs.
Button C. Release notes. Button close. Heading level 3 improve your site's performance score. Dialog. Button close. Positive reviews from amazing business owners like you can help other entrepreneurs.
Okay, the dialogues probably a bit much.
Is this just because
No.
it's like a first time?
It
Is that why?
It is, and also I wonder. So like basically that, yeah, the new release one. That's like basically when you first log in, and if you haven't seen it, it will show. The other one, it's like if you haven't seen it for like 6 months or something, it'll show. But I feel like this one, yeah, I think we have too many, obviously. So I'm not sure exactly why they're all showing, but we're going to look into that for sure.
Heading level
But-
3 improve your site's performance score.
What I will say is, I think those, correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, I think those modals were correctly coded because you weren't focused on the page behind them. They captured your focus and put you on the modal when it opened.
Yeah, there's some missing ARIA attributes, so it doesn't read the content within the modal until you interact with it.
Hmm.
So ARIA labeled by should match the title if there was a visible title. ARIA described by should match the visible description if there was a description, and the icon on the close button should be hidden because it's read as a comma. So you might have heard it say close instead of just close. So that's the reality of how icons can change the reading.
Mm-hmm.
With our experimental performance loading speed, link try it out, link learn more.
So
No next
this is an Elementor banner
Improve
that's
the site's
showing
remote
on
release
their
heading.
page.
Button dismiss this notice. Link log out. Main landmark button dismiss this. Success checklist menu button. Content info menu button collapsed sub main menu. No next heading.
Okay, so there's no headings on this page.
Main landmark link dashboard link offerings link sales link metrics. Link log out. Toolbar out of main landmark link dashboard. Link offerings link sales link metrics link members link emails link affiliates.
Looks like we have some links here, but none of them are indicated to which one is currently selected.
Link directories.
We know we're on the dashboard right now.
Link teams. Link community log. Link setting. Get help. Welcome back, Alex. You're running AccessAlly 4.1.2. At a glance stats. $0. Last 7 days revenue. 37 members. 2023, 20 table with 29 rows and 2 columns, row 1, column 1x. Out of table 2023, 2023, 2023, 2023, 2023, 2023, 2023, 2023, 2023, 2020.
Okay, I think we've heard enough of that.
That's,
Not quite
that a
sure what
Google
that
chart?
was.
Yeah, that's a chart. I don't know how to handle that, but
I don't know if you're
Hide
using
it.
Google Charts, but I think Google Charts reads as tables to screen readers. So that's
Well-
probably what that was, Alex.
I'm not sure why the first part of it read like that, though. It should. I mean, I could see the table, but it's the text above it that's the problem.
Yeah. I don't know if
Table
it's also
29
thrown
rows and
off
2
because
columns,
it
row 1,
doesn't
column
have
1x.
any revenue. Is this supposed to be revenue?
It is, yeah. And this is a test site, so I don't have much happening on it.
Row 2 2023 0821. Y column 20. Edge of table 0. Row 3 0. Row 4 0. Row 5 0. X column 1 2023. Row 29 2023
Hold
097.
on, trying to skip the table.
Edge of table.
All
Y
right.
out of table total revenue past 30 days. Link full sales report. Link more metrics. Notifications. Unable to validate the Stripe Connect settings. Please notify link more metric.
Okay, so it would be better if some of these labels came first.
Main menu. No next heading. Toolbar navigation main landmark dashboard link. Link off links links get welcome. Your at a glance stats $0. Last 7 days revenue. 0 at a glance stats. 0 last 7 days
The
revenue.
last 7 days revenue, for example, should become before $0.
37 members.
Members
So-
should be before 37.
It could still be visually positioned below. You would just want it to come first in the DOM, and then they can use CSS to position it below if they want.
Yep.
That's awesome. But it
What
makes
would be
total
a,
sense, yeah.
a good thing for him to go try and edit? What would you be curious about?
I think probably our offerings. So that's sort of like where people create like the structure of a course. So that would be right underneath the dashboard link would be the offerings link.
Settings link. Community teams link. Directory affiliate emails members metrics list sales link. Offerings link. Dashboard offerings link. AccessAlly offerings training center. Word main landmark Elementor developer edition heading level 3. Button dismiss this notice. Success check. Content info landmark. Thank you for creating with main menu. No next heading. Toolbar navigation landmark list with 7 items about WordPress main landmark dashboard link. Link all links links get offer create. Offer get help. Offerings create. Edit dashboard layout. Free opt-in course link. Paid course link. Monthly membership link. Membership offer bronze membership link. Silver member link. Gold member link.
Oh, we have a bunch of non-semantic controls and unlabeled links.
Yeah. Can you go like, so what I see is what looks like each one of these has what's probably an edit, which is a pencil to me, a copy, I'm guessing, an eyeball, which might be to visualize it or to see it on the front end. And the trash can is to
Gold
delete.
membership link. Regular affiliate link.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing none of those are actual buttons. You can't get to them.
I only get one link, so the rest are just literal icons.
Do you want to follow one of those links?
Silver membership link. Busy document about colon blank. Silver membership training center document busy navigation landmark link training center. Main landmark silver membership heading level 1.
So yeah, I took you to the front end to like see the page as a
Okay.
member would see it.
AccessAlly offerings trade gold membership. Gold membership base module. Gold membership link.
So
Link.
that one took you to
Add.
the editing page.
Published.
So
Oh.
what did you do in order to be able to edit this, Alex?
There is a click event on the title.
Yeah, so those are probably not coded as buttons.
Link gold
And they
membership.
just have
Link.
JavaScript making them act like buttons.
Link published. You add blank. Gold membership member content. Gold membership content 1. Link draft. Gold membership content 2. Link draft. Delete. Add.
Yeah, these
Content
are
info landmark.
not as nearly as optimized for accessibility. So this is a good wake up call.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth pointing out, like Alex figured out how to get into this, but a typical user might not, because Alex is a developer. So he knows how to figure out what the JavaScript is doing and access it.
Also, a lot of educated guesses.
Mhm. Yeah. Do you want to edit one of them if you can?
Main landmark link.
Is that the edit link?
Yes, that's an
That
edit.
is, yeah.
Link document busy about colon blank. Edit page gold membership content 2 training set link skip to main content. Main landmark edit page add title. Edit gold permalink. Link button permalink. Button edit with button add media. Button visual. Button text.
Oh, you're not using Gutenberg yet, so of course we can edit this.
So this makes Alex happy, right, Alex?
Yeah, very happy. And most of these meta boxes should probably work okay.
Pop-up Live Pro display settings heading level 2. Button unavailable. Move up. Button move. Button expand table with 1 rows and 6 columns. Row 1, column 1. Column 2 time delayed. Column 3 exit intent. Column 4 scroll triggered. Column 5 click triggered. Column 6 embedded. Out of table heading level 2 publish.
What does that table do in that meta
Um,
box where he was?
That pop-up Ally Pro, so that would show if you have multiple pop-ups set up for this particular page, which ones are enabled and when they would happen. So if it was exit intent or click triggered or something else, but we don't have any pop-ups on here, so that's why it's empty.
So I wonder if that could use like a message or something like none
Yeah, that would be
to make it more
Useful.
clear why there's nothing in that meta box.
Yep, that's smart.
Button move up. Heading level 2 publish. Button move down. Publish poppable edit page heading level publish heading page attributes heading level 2. Social image generator heading level 2. Featured image heading AccessAlly permissions heading level 2. Button move up. Button move down. Button expanded toggle panel access location. This content is included in the following offering. Link gold membership. Branding. Use the shortcode AccessAlly icon posted 1711 to add the icon to a page. Gold membership. Available. Blank. Gold membership. No access. Blank. Gold membership completed. Blank. Customize icon text. Permissions. Blank. Visitors must log in to view this page. Warning: any changes made here will be overwritten if you update the tags of this offering later. A visitor can access this page if they have any of these tags. Gold membership instant access. Gold membership base access. Add an access tag edit. Blank. A visitor cannot access this
Can
page.
you remove an access tag?
Blank. Add an gold membership base access. Gold membership base access. S. G.
would be a no.
Add an access tag edit. Gold O L
Okay.
S. Gold membership instant access.
Okay, can you add one?
Gold membership instant tag. Gold add an access tag edit. Blank.
Like,
Add an access tag.
I don't know what content's on this. Like if he
Blank.
searches,
Add an access tag edit.
Yeah, it should auto start. If you just start typing, it should try to find
if
something.
he, is that a field you can get into though?
I can already tell you this is going to be a problem. What would be something to type?
Oh, because you're gonna search for it. Add an access tag is the text that I can see visually.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be no suggestions visible to me until I type something, maybe.
I don't even think you're focused on it right now, though. It looks like you're just focused on the page.
Oh, yeah, there's focus on it. That's just very, very weird input.
Silver, is that a membership on this page?
Yeah, you could type silver or bronze.
S-I-L-V. Blank. Add an access tag edit.
No, you're right. It's not going to let me type
Blank.
into it.
Add an access tag edit.
There you
Main
go.
trigger send HTTP post test. Trigger send HTTP post test.
Oh,
If email update. If test stage instant access. Test stage base. Test stage made purchase. Test stage made purchase.
wow.
Is this
Yeah.
a drop? Is this a drop down, Natalie? Like, are those other things that are on the site?
Yeah, those are all on the site. Yep.
Okay, yeah, that just sounds weird because I think the people were testing things.
Yeah. We've created these as tests, and this is a test site, so it has a lot of weird stuff on it. But
Test stage revoke. Test backward stage tag. Test backward stage tag.
Well, I'm not
Can you
sure
select-
what this uses.
Test backward. What? Test backward. Test backward product tag.
So it added it, but it didn't have a message that told you it successfully added it.
Add an access tag edit. Blank. Add an access.
In this field, it says nothing about autocomplete or anything. Let's see
500 100. Inspect Q2 of 2.
if we can see
Edit
it.
page gold membership console panel frame. Level
What is
23 view
this?
item draggable. Edit page gold membership. Level 19 stand class AccessAlly add tag combo box new. Level 20 input class access tag input UI autocomplete input placeholder add an access tag title autocomplete off new attribute event draggable 1 of 2. Level 19 stand class AccessAlly add tag combo box new attribute expanded draggable 6 of 6.
Oh, so yeah, it's just a regular input with no ARIA support for this.
So it needs to be, I don't have a good link for that off the top of my head, but
Edit.
it's a combo box. And I can follow up with you and we can try and put it in the notes on like what you need to do for an accessible combo box. I think I have an example, but I don't have one off the top of my head.
no worries, we can do some research too.
Yeah, those are always hard to get right, especially the third-party libraries, which are inaccessible out of the box.
Main landmark. Blank. Out of document, out of frame, toolbar toggle button, not pressed, insert edit link, CTRLK button, insert read more tag, Shift Alt T. Menu button, submenu, paragraph toggle button.
Well, that's strange.
Is
Toolbar.
this just normal Tiny MC.
I button. Toolbar toggle. Shift Alt Z button.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't realize closing the browser inspector would land you in tiny MCE. That's very strange.
Insert the line block num bold pair X tool insert edit link CTRL rich text area press Alt Shift H text
So
button.
that's a
Application.
WordPress thing. That's
Save
not
draft
you.
button.
Yeah. All right. We're out of it again.
That's the fun of like editing
Page
things in the
preview.
back
Open to the
end
new
and
tab. Link.
testing.
Page
Sometimes
attributes.
we're like, not your fault.
There's nothing I can do about that one. But yeah.
Yeah.
Or in the case of when we test with Gutenberg, we don't know if it's your fault or not. It might be. It might not be.
Your image heading AccessAlly permission progress page settings heading level 2 button move up button move button expanded toggle panel request need extra help view our documentation and tutorials link here.
How about the page settings? That has what looks to me like tabs on it.
Yeah, the Progress Ally page settings, yes.
So this here link should tell you where you're going.
Which link?
Table with 10 rows and 2 columns row here link.
This link labeled here.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So just change the link so that view our documentation and tutorials. That whole text is the link.
Is the link. Got it.
So it's
Table
meaningful.
with 10 rows and 2 columns row 1 column 1 objectives. Blank. Row 1 through 10 column 2 objectives. Objectives allow you to create checklists, video bookmarks that autoplay your video and the track. When the quiz is completed, simply add the objective shortcode to your page after adding objectives. Here. Table with 2 rows and 4 columns row 1 column 1.
It's just a table inside a table.
I have to say, we were table obsessed in the beginning, which I apologize for a lot. Like sometimes it's like, oh, that's still a table. But yes.
Tables are good for structured data. Tables are not good for design in 2023.
I completely agree.
Yes.
Column 2 type. Column 3 description. And column 4 delete object. Row 2 column 1 through 4 add objective. Out of table run AccessAlly custom operation on table with 2 rows and 4 columns. Row 2 column 1 through 4 add objective.
Can you add one?
Row 1 column 4 delete objective. Column 3 column 2 type. Column 1 out of table here. When the quiz is complete, table column row 2 column 1 through 4 out of table run AccessAlly custom operation on completion.
I guess not.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that is. That looks like there's input fields there. Like a drop down. But a drop down and just like a text field. But it's possible they're not actually inputs if you can't get to them.
Table with row 1 column 3 description additional parameters. Column 2 type. Column 1. Column
It's
Y.
after that.
Column 3 description column 4 delete objective. Row 2 column 1 through 4 add objective.
There you go. What if you go across?
Row 1 column 4 E. V I T C E J E C T I V E. Row 2 column 1 through 4 A. D D space O D J E C T I V E out of table R U.
No. Whatever happened there is not good.
A lot of learning this evening. So thank you.
You can choose to run and select the combo box collapsed.
That is a combo box.
Objective completion pop-up. Combo box. Main landmark table. Row 1 through 10 column 2. Combo box expanded. List item 1 of 19. 1. 2. Redeem 3. Apply skip payment tag 4 of 9. 4. Give points 5 of 19.
So these are selectable.
So this is a good combo box.
Edit page. Select the combo box collapsed 4. Give points.
Almost. It doesn't
Except
have
for
an
the label.
associated label.
Got it.
Yeah, just check label. But the way this is coded would be the way you'd want to code your other ones for the actual field.
Got it.
By default, the custom operation is only run the first checkbox not checked. Run the custom operation every time when all the objectives are checked. Not by default, run the custom operation every time when all the objectives are checked. Not recommended. Checkbox not checked.
Like this checkbox that has an associated label.
So that one's good.
This one is good.
Objective when pop-up alive row customize the display combo box collapse do not show a pop-up. Row 2 column 1 media. Blank. Row 4 tagging. Blank. Row 5 quiz. Blank. Row 6 private notes. Blank. Row 7
Can you
certificates.
follow
Blank.
one of
Row 8
those?
interactions.
What's that?
Can you follow one of those?
One of what?
Well, they're reading to you as links. They look to me like tabs.
Oh no, they're nothing.
It won't do. It's not interactive.
Row 7 certificates. Row 6 private notes. P. Blank. Row 7 certificates.
Yeah, they're non-semantic elements to screen readers.
Blank. Row 8 interactions. Blank. Row 9 import at blank. Row 10. Out of table heading level 2 freesold deactivate plugins.
Yeah, it doesn't if anything, that probably has like an on mouse down event on it or something, because not even enter does anything.
Interesting.
Let me see if I can find one with, here's the tabs pattern. I'll put that in the chat. And then there's an example on that page for tabs with manual activation
Got it.
and what would need
Button
to
move up.
happen on those.
Heading level 2 freesoul deactivate plugins. Button expanded toggle panel for Sassy social share heading level 2. No next heading.
All right, I think that's the end here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're about at time. Do you feel like we dumped a bucket over you?
A little bit, but yeah, no, this is really, really awesome. And yeah, it's
Sharing meeting screen.
huge. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I know it's some of the stuff I knew, like I knew the back end of the plugin, you know, some of it is a little bit more dated and we haven't done as much work on it. The front end we wanted to like prioritize because more people are seeing it. But yeah, this is really good feedback for us to work on.
Alex, do you have any final thoughts or anything?
I don't. Do we have any questions?
We did not get any other questions, so I don't know if anybody else had any other questions. We did get some feedback. So Adrian said, we appreciate you going through this, Natalie. It's how we all learn. Oh, there was some conversation also about emails being the only place left for layout tables because of Outlook. And they said as soon as Outlook updates, then we can get rid of that in emails.
Yeah, so that's a good reason to always have a plain text option for your emails, because Outlook tables are really not accessible.
Yeah. So if somebody's using, I mean, is Outlook accessible or would somebody just not use Outlook? Do you think?
Outlook is very accessible depending
Okay.
on if the email content is workable.
Yeah.
And the best way to make it not workable is to use layout tables.
Well, Natalie, do you want to share again where people can go if they want to see the plugin and play around with it and test it out?
Sure, yes. So accessally.com. So that's AccessAlly.com. And yeah, you'll see a lot more information and you can do the demo, kind of what the first part of this was all about. There's like a take the tour button. You can find that on every page. And yeah, I'd love to just have your feedback. If you have any other feedback, obviously I'm open to that as well. So thank you for being here and taking the time to see what we can do to improve.
Yeah. And Alex, how can people get a hold of you if they have questions after?
You can connect with me on LinkedIn. It's Alex Stine, Stine on LinkedIn. And I'm, of course, in multiple different WordPress Slack groups. And I hang around the WordPress Accessibility Facebook group. So I'm around.
Great. Well, thank you both. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And this is your short reminder. If you have not registered for WordPress Accessibility Day, go register to attend. It is next week starting on September 27th at 10 a.m. US Central Time, but it will run for 24 hours. No matter where you are in the world, there will be talks in your time zone, live captioned and sign language interpreted. 2023.wpaccessibility.day. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.